we got the chance to speak to the cast of Apple TV Plus's The Completely Made Up Adventures of Dick Turpin. Here now is our conversation with Noel Fielding and Hugh Bonneville. Noel, Hugh, I don't usually do this on a first date, but I love you both dearly, so I just thought we'd get that out of the way.
Very kind.
The show is pretty fantastic, and Noel, I don't know if this is a lazy comparison, but I feel like Dick Turpin is the bastard love child of Blackadder and Drunk History. Am I off, or is that what you were going for?
Absolutely what we were going for. You know what? I enjoyed Drunk Histories a lot. My friend was in that. And Blackadder obviously is always there. If you're British and you're trying to write comedy, then Blackadder is hanging over you like a spectre. It's like, the young ones, Blackadder, Monty Python, Peter Kirk,
right.
Spike, they're all hanging above you, so to remind you of what good comedy is. So yeah, we were shooting Blackadder, but it's a tricky one. It's such a good comedy.
It is very good. I had VHSs when I was a kid, and I kind of wore them out because they weren't ever on TV in Malaysia, so we only had access to them via videotape. Hugh, you play a very different sort of villain in Dick Turpin. It's goofy but kind of serious, and I was reminded of the character you played briefly in Gallivant, criminally underwatched show, but Peter Pillager, the Pirate King, in Gallivant.
Yes, Peter Pillager, the Pirate King, and we were landlocked pirates.
That's right.
Somehow inexplicably got stuck up in the middle of a field.
That's right.
And, yes, I think being a slightly failed pirate, in the same vein, Jonathan Wild is a slightly failed thief taker, undermined constantly by having to bring his son along on sort of work experience, as it were, or rather, he got childcare issues, so he has to take Christopher. So he's a very serious-minded fellow, but it's difficult to do his job when he's got a nincompoop like Dick Turpin to contend with, who's not your average highwayman. He's used to really butch people to come up against instead of this floppy-haired vegan
with really pointy shoes.
Yeah, with very pointy shoes.
Tell me this:
the
when you're
costumes
taking on,
were fantastic to wear.
They were. When you're taking on characters like this, I'm curious as to whether you play it straight, or are you constantly winking at the camera?
I personally think any character who knows they're in a comedy is failing the show. I think the pleasure of good comedies is that you the audience are observing people who are absurd but don't know they're absurd, or are in situations that are absurd but don't know they're absurd. So I think I'm always reminded of a director. I did a show called 2012 and then W1A. It was a sort of satire on corporate life, and the constant note from our director there was speak faster and don't smile. And I think that's a pretty good note for comedy.
So kind of like Michael Caine in The Muppets.
Yes, that's a great
playing it completely straight.
You know what? There's a level as well to fantastical comedy where if you're not in it, then the audience can't be in it, Yeah. So you have to believe that you're there, and you have to believe it's happening, because otherwise the audience will sense that you're not quite in it. Not that you can't, break the fourth wall, do all of that stuff, but that's in places you can do that. But I feel like, people want to feel like they're going on this adventure and that they're with you, and so it's for comedy that works for sure.
It's very, very cool. Gentlemen, I'm almost out of time, but the show is tremendous. I was laughing my head off the whole time. Before I leave, though, Noel, I have to ask just one bake-off question. The thing that always confuses me, I never see camera people, and you're shooting at every angle. How many people are there shooting that thing? Take me behind the curtain for a second. They're all dressed as cakes?
Guys, yeah.
They're hiding in the custard. You know what? The camera crew at Bake Off it's the same guys that have been doing it since the beginning. And they're a lovely bunch. And I think they've just got really good at it, They just know how to keep out of shot, which is it's quite a skill.
It's so good.
I hadn't thought about that. But also, I'm always trying to involve them in my antics, and they're like, "Get away from me!" Always trying to get them to do ridiculous things. But yeah,
We're
no,
not
they're brilliant.
here. I'm all out of time, gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure. And Hugh, I'm counting down the days to Paddington 3. Literally
Yeah.
counting down the days. So
End of
I
this
can't
year,
wait.
so it'll be coming to you soon. Yeah.
Exciting.
All right. Well, congratulations on Dick Turpin. It's fantastic.
I want this dick in my hands as soon as possible.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, that did sound a bit weird, sorry.
The completely made-up adventures of Dick Turpin is now streaming on Apple TV+. What do you think of the show? Sound off in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.